Coming into the show right now. He's coming in right now is an OG in D2C. He's an OG on the brand side, particularly on the agency side. He is now Director of Partnerships and Client Solutions at the behemoth that is Logical Position. I'm talking about the one and only Ryan Garrow. Garrow, get in here. Get inside this show, Garrow.
Let's go. Look at that shirt. Oh, my gosh.
I dressed up for the day.
You did.
Oh, my gosh.
You're looking good, too, brother. You're looking good, man.
Come on, gummy bears. Let's do this. Well, this is the greatest part of this is that, my mother is a very conservative Christian woman, and she bought me a golf shirt and was like, oh, the gummy bears are cute. I'll get that for my son. Well, when you look closely, there's actually some gummy bears doing naughty things there. My mom bought. I was like, Mom, she was.
If you know, you know.
I'm like, I am wearing this and letting everybody know you bought this for me.
Yeah,
that's some inside baseball. Some inside baseball.
Yeah,
I love it.
Kick us off with Ryan here, Colin.
Yeah, Ryan. I mean, you are, I would consider, one of the OGs in the D2C space.
For sure.
Could you talk about kind of where you started with D2C, direct to consumer, e-commerce, your initial start with your agency, how that happened, how you ended up at Logical Position? Give us some backstory on who you are, because I think you are one of probably the most seasoned operators in the space that everyone should be taking notes on.
/ I'm just old, maybe.
No. Come on.
Gray hair. It's all fun. So I accidentally got into e-com. I'm famous for saying, as I was working at this direct mail company, my partner in the business wanted to start a digital agency. And he's like, yeah, we're going to start the digital side. And because I don't want to deal with it, I want you to oversee the sales org. And that was the last thing I wanted to do, because the sales org was essentially a couple potheads that we put in the room with the printer that would go out to lunch and drink. And I'm like, I don't want to manage these. What is going on? And I made a statement to the whole team. I was like, I don't know why anybody's going to buy things online. That's the dumbest thing. Like, I want to go to the mall and see shirts and try it on. Like, who would buy a gummy bear shirt sight unseen? That's stupid.
It's crazy.
And I said this, and they still remember it. And I was like, direct mail, this is great. Well, fast forward a year into that business, and I'm like, you know what? Direct mail is not going to make it. Like, what we're doing in direct mail, I think we're going to go digital. So we pivoted the entire kind of like this. My sales team on the digital, not the digital side, on the direct mail side. I'm like, look, we're going to start selling digital marketing, and they're like, you sound crazy. I'm like, it's going to be great. And I had $0 to build a team. We were paying in peanuts. And I ended up accidentally hiring 2 extremely smart people that I didn't deserve to actually hire.
Wow.
One was this guy, Micah Heath, who worked at we went to University of Oregon. And so 2006, he graduated from Oregon and happened to be a hotbed of feed management. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So he worked on Best Buy's original marketing feeds.
Really?
A lot of stuff with Microsoft when they were going to, and he needed a job desperately. I'm like, thank God. I love desperate employees.
Yes.
Because they will work for little. And so I could afford to pay. I mean, at the time, I want to say, I think I paid him like 21 grand a year, like salary. It was
crazy.
So bad. I feel so guilty now. Mike, if you're listening, I'm sorry. Thankfully, you're making more money now. And then a couple other employees that just set the stage of like how we looked at digital marketing. From an e-com standpoint. We were working on what's called Frugal. I don't know if anybody listening has been in digital marketing long enough to understand what Frugal is, but it was free Google Shopping.
Oh.
Google Shopping did not know how to charge for things, so they just wanted people on there. So we were managing free Google Shopping called Frugal.
Wow.
And
crazy.
We looked at data really uniquely because of Micah and how he looked at data and said, hey, we're going to like manipulate feeds and we're going to get shopping to work really well for these clients. And then it just took off from there. So from like 2010, when we started really getting into the weeds within Google Shopping, to 2015, when we sold the Logical Position, we started managing some of the largest feeds and shopping accounts in all of Google.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was actually down at Google and they're like, well, how are you doing this? Like you have 15 employees, you're managing some of these big companies. I'm like, we're just really, really good. Like we don't use bidding algorithms. Like that was a really popular thing in 2013 was these companies that create these automated systems. And we're like, we beat them head to head. We're really good at it. And I thought we got to logical position because I thought we were pretty cool with our Google partnership. And then we had a really high-end Google partnership. And I was out, my wife was the HR manager for logical position. And they handled SMB clients. And my wife came to me one day. I was like, you know what? I just have this feeling that you're going to work with logical position someday. And
Seriously?
I'm like, yeah. I was like, you're crazy because we handle big, cool brands where we're like Dallas Cowboys and
baby.
Fossil was cool. It's not anymore, but Fossil was cool. And they spent a ton of money. And I was like, we do cool stuff. And they're doing like realtors and small local businesses. And she's like, I know, but I think it'll happen. I'm like, whatever. I was out golfing with the CEOs of Logical Position. And they're like, well, your Google thing is actually not that cool. And I'm like,
whoa,
okay, tell me more. I'm kind of a big deal. And he's like, let me give you a little insight into our Google program. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Seriously?
That's impressive. And so, lots of circumstances happened over a very short period of time, but it was like, yep, we're selling. We sold in, I think, October 2015. And we, when we joined Logical Position, we took them over 100 employees. So I think they went from 87 to 105 with our employee count. And we took Logical Position to, I think, 1,100 clients at the time.
Wow.
And now we've just been, hockey stick up and to the right. I think right now we have about 700 employees and somewhere around 7,000 clients active right now.
That is crazy. Garrow, that is huge, man.
I mean, Chris has worked in the agency world, so 7,000 clients is just kind of, it's just kind of mind-boggling how much that is.
It just makes your brain hurt. Like that's just a frustration waiting to happen constantly. And I'm like, well, it is. We've got a lot of good systems, but constant taking care of like weird issues like, hey, GA4 broke. Oh, wait, it's always broken. Now we got to fix this.
That is wild. That's wild at scale. And it's crazy for me to hear that once upon a time there was a free Google shopping. That's crazy. That was definitely before my time. That was before my time on the interwebs. Really, give me some insight about what's happening today. I know Logical from afar, but man, with social commerce, with TikTok Shop, is there anything you guys got cooking over there that you're excited about? What's happening today that is that's hot on your front burner?
We've done some really cool things with TikTok. So TikTok was really buzzy, I want to say in 22, maybe into 23.
Yeah.
A lot of brands wanted to be in there. They started it and it was not great.
Tough go.
Bad. And so everybody pulled off. And I was actually at e-tail in February, and we had a poll of our big wine event. We're like, hey, how many people in this room, these are big brands, started advertising on TikTok in 21, 22 time period when everybody thought it was going to be great, and now you're not. Everybody raised a hand. I was like, oh, okay. And so TikTok and us, we got together at the end of last year, and TikTok obviously sold and was at the tail end of that. So they were building up a new partner team and had some really cool things they were doing. And they are trying to duplicate what Google did in the early 2010s with SMBs and SMB for TikTok is a very wide range. There are only 1,000 companies in the world for TikTok that are not SMB.
Okay. So that's a big swath.
It's a big swath.
It's a big swath.
Skims, for example, is considered an SMB.
Crazy.
I'm like, okay, well, I'll take it. Wow. And so they created a channel partner program that there's 6 agencies in the world, and we're the only one focused on e-com. And so they said, hey, we want you to come in and help us figure out e-com. And so we're now helping their product team. I was actually down in San Jose about 2 weeks ago with their product team. And it blew my mind because we were like, hey, this part of your product is not doing what we think it should as an agency. And they're like, huh, that's a good point. well, we'll put that on our roadmap. And for me, when you're talking to a platform, roadmap means, yeah, okay, 5 years from now.
Kick it down the road.
They're like, yeah, we'll probably be able to get that into beta in Q1. And I was there towards the end of March. And I'm like, okay, so they kept talking about it, and then it'll go into general population, probably like Q2. And I was like, okay, let me stop you right there, because, what's your fiscal calendar? Because right now I'm in Q1 and Q2 starts in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, we mean like in the next 3 weeks it'll be in beta. I'm like,
that's wild.
Like TikTok, their developing team is intense. It's like it's like the what do they say? It's like 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. Like,
yeah,
it is intense. And I was like, they're impressive. They move extremely quickly, even from like me and having like developers on staff being able to say, yeah, we'll get that done in 3 weeks. And that's pretty quick. They're like, yeah, we'll get that done in a week. I'm like, whew,
that's phenomenal.
Wow. So I expect TikTok to have a bit of a comeback in 26. Like, I think their search product is green, but they do get a lot of people searching TikTok for stuff. And I think TikTok Shop has had an impact on people thinking about, well, you go to TikTok and you can find deals and you can find stuff. It's like, there's Temu, and then there's like, yeah, but TikTok's going to be a little bit higher end there. And you'll get what you're picturing sometimes. So TikTok, I think, is going to be fun.
Wow.
We're working through things with them now, and they're very receptive to like understanding and figuring it out. So we'll see. Should be fun.
There was like a lot dropped there.
Yeah, you just dropped so much on it.
There was a lot dropped there. Go ahead, Colin. That was a lot.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you kind of get a peek behind the curtain of the behemoth that is TikTok, that a lot of brands that are considered massive, like you just mentioned, don't get that peek behind the curtain. How should brands start to prepare themselves or kind of get themselves in line for what TikTok has rolling out this upcoming year? Like, how am I, as brand owner? I'm running a $5 to $10 million brand. I love TikTok. I want to get in line with it. What should I be doing? What are my steps?
It's tough because there's a lot we don't know, and a lot of brands that don't know yet what they need to be doing on TikTok. And so what I tell almost every brand, I'm like, look, you're already driving traffic probably from Meta and Google to your site. Let's just get dynamic remarketing working on TikTok to tell us a couple things. Like, number one, I want to see what TikTok thinks of your audience. Like, who are they? What's the demographic that TikTok is reporting to us? And then, are people willing to go from TikTok to the site to take action? Like, if they're not willing to do that, it might not make sense to go mid-upper funnel on TikTok if they're not even willing to take dynamic remarketing and take that step. So we've seen a lot of really quick early success there to say, hey, yeah, it turns out people will click ads, go to your website, convert, or they'll come back the next day and go direct, organic, whatever. But also seeing the demographics on TikTok, because it's a new set of eyeballs that we haven't had insight to. And so a great example was a company that does display cases for jewelry stores. Like, they're actually much bigger than I would have expected, but there's a lot of people buying jewelry cases for them. And they're like, all of our buyers are men between the ages of 40 and 55. I was like, okay, great. And then I go, they're not on TikTok. It's like, perfect. I get it. Let's just do dynamic remarketing. We do it for free, by the way, for the first 3 months, just to prove it. Like, we're so committed to this. We're saying, hey, come to us. We'll set it up and manage it for free for 3 months, just to get some data for you and help you understand what makes sense. And they had a lot of success. They actually sold out of their inventory and had to pause. But
seriously,
yeah, their demographic on TikTok, 30 to 45-year-old women.
Like, seriously?
Yeah, they're like, we did not know that. I'm like, oh, I'm just saying, if it's a married couple, she's the one on TikTok and she's the one making buying decisions, because we can see that conversion.
Good point. It's a great
like in my house,
point.
I make zero buying decisions. My wife is. I don't have an impact. I don't even buy my own golf shirts.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think this is a compelling point that you mentioned. We discovered something, kind of a different route, but we discovered something the exact same on TikTok, which was when I was at Bruce Bolt, which was a very fast growing baseball brand focused on travel baseball kids particularly. we weren't doing anything on TikTok, et cetera, but we just started throwing some stuff out there, collecting data, post-purchase survey, et cetera. What we found out was that actually where people were discovering us for the first time via digital interaction, video, et cetera, where they were discovering us online primarily, even though we weren't doing anything on it hardly, it was on TikTok. Everybody else was word of mouth, you know, it's at the baseball game. It's, you know, little Johnny told Aunt Susie and et cetera, et cetera. But TikTok, lo and behold, became wow, we've got to forage into this field. We've got to plow this thing and reap the harvest here. That's interesting. You guys have this offer, and your brands are discovering they've got a totally new demographic there, and you're selling out with it. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, and what we found too, TikTok is, it's weird, but it's also just unique. I won't even say it's weird, but it's just unique, even compared to Meta, in that the product discovery opportunities there is massive. And if you aren't adjusting your tracking and understanding how people are buying you, like there's a reason that TikTok was paying for no commerce for all the brands, because they needed that post-purchase survey to tell them,
interesting,
where'd you hear about it?
That's how we found out.
Yeah.
Through a no.
All the brands are like, well, we want to know if it's Google or Meta or a friend. And then I'm like, put TikTok on there. They're like, okay, fine. We'll put TikTok on. Because we had a beauty brand that was influencer driven primarily on Instagram. Huge influencer there. She did a wonderful job, built a massive brand. They were spending only 20 grand a month across all platforms. And then I think as of last year, they were well over $500,000 a month in spend across channel. We said, hey, you need to start on TikTok because you do have a following there. She's like, that sounds dumb. I'm like, just give us $5 grand and let's try it. Ran it for 2 months. They were using GA4 at the time. This was 22.
Oof.
And they're like, we see $100 in sales for that $10,000 spent over 2 months.
Yeah.
We're going to cancel that. And they're like, okay, but then TikTok and no commerce. Hey, you didn't do any post-purchase. We should look at this. I'm like, okay. Turns out the product discovery was, we actually saw a dip after we took TikTok off. We're like, that's weird. What happened? I'm like, oh, no commerce involved. Like, unbelievable the impact it was having on that upper funnel product discovery for them. They've been back on it since 2022 consistently.
That's incredible, man.
I mean, you're diving in a little bit to my favorite part, which is the data piece of things. And Chris is probably
really. Why would you think that with your history with Mr.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, and I love the data part of things. You have so many brands under the portfolio of Logical Position, and so I'm imagining that you're seeing kind of a through line right now for 2026 of, okay, here's a couple of the attributes of a successful brand in 2026. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I imagine you're seeing this data and just, I mean, ingesting this mass amount of high level 10,000 foot data where you're just seeing kind of like Neo in the Matrix. You're just seeing everything and like,
I become bullets every day.
Yeah, no, basically that.
Really awesome.
Yeah, basically that. Could you talk a little bit about those trends?
There was one right there. Couple things. Number one, if you're not actually looking at better data, you have massive problems. Like the brands that are using GA4 and Shopify or BigCom as their sources of truth and trying to figure out what's going on, I mean, you're flying blind 100%. Like GA4 can't see half of your data because iOS is blocking all of that. It wipes UTM parameters before it hits the site. So if you don't have server-side tracking or first-party stuff, I don't know what you're even doing in e-com. You have to have some of that. And there's really inexpensive ways to get it. Everybody can find them. It's not hard. But you have to be thinking about better, MTA, multi-touch attribution, and understanding what that path looks like for your brand. Yeah. And you need to be, after you've got that, make sure you're building from the bottom of the funnel up. I see too many brands coming to me saying, I need to be on Meta advertising. I'm like, okay, I agree. But tell me why that is. Why do you think that? Well, my competitor was on Meta. I saw an ad, therefore I know I'm missing out. Like, okay, probably, but there's two problems there. Number one, let's start from the bottom of the funnel up. Like if you're not capturing where the demand exists for your brand, the products you're selling, the services you're selling, capture that first on Google, Bing, because if you're going jump upper funnel where you think the cheaper traffic is, you're gonna have a leaky bucket where you're just driving awareness for your competitors as people go off of Meta because they didn't click the ad, they went to Google to search for something or went to Amazon. You've got to be building where the bottom of the funnel is, and then go to the mid of the funnel. And then the other piece that I find that in that conversation with a prospect or a client, how do you know your competition knows what the F they're doing?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's really true. So true.
Just because they have an ad there doesn't mean it's working. It doesn't mean that's how they're growing their brand. I like to use research of competitors to brainstorm and give you an idea of what should we test, but you don't know anything about their conversion rate. You don't know anything about their lifetime value and their email and SMS program and loyalty programs. Like, you might have an inkling of what it's doing. You can build with and be like, hey, they have Attentive or they have Klaviyo. Awesome.
Yeah.
But it's going to be different for your brand. The same exact search query on Google is going to convert differently on different competitor sites. Like, you can both be Shopify and it's going to have a different conversion rate. Like, it's the data will tell you.
It's a great point about, about oftentimes we want to emulate and we actually have no clue. We have no clue how those competitors are. It's like, I really like that ad. It may be the poorest performing ad in their entire library. Yeah. But we like it. So let's make something on top of that.
Good job. Okay.
It's pretty. It's interesting. Man, Garrow, you have got, brother, you've got more perspective. You've got more perspective than I think a lot of us inside of the industry have. I mean,
he's a Bing guy as well.
Are you a Bing guy?
He just brought it up. He's a Bing guy.
Everybody should be on Bing. It's dumb to not be on Bing.
Okay.
Like, it's cheaper.
This is huge for Chris.
Rates are higher.
This is huge.
Okay, we had a story that we covered on this, and somebody was talking about how, like, everybody should be on Bing. You're going to be a millionaire. It's cheaper. Sell to seniors. This is your offer. Keep your ad copy simple. All of these things. And I was looking, like, we made a public call. Like, is anybody just cracked on Bing that can come in here and talk with us about it? Because it's one of, like, the least sexy platforms or channels, that one can deploy. But you're big on Bing.
I'm big on Bing, and Bing isn't even big on Bing. That's part of the problem. Like, they know their systems are not awesome for building an account, so they give you a button when you log into Bing that says, "Do you want us to bring your Google account in?" I'm like, yes, we do. You push the magic button, sucks your Google account in. It's got an OAuth, sucks Google account in through APIs, sets all your campaigns there. Says, you just want to use your current bids? Yes, I do. And then you're running. It's so damn simple. But a great example of the power of Bing. So Amazon has probably more data about conversion rates and money and all the things in e-com than anybody else. Google probably can rival it, but Amazon famously pulled out of Google Shopping, and shouldn't surprise anybody. Like, they haven't been on Google Shopping for, I think, almost a year now. Amazon plays the arbitrage game across the board. They pay for clicks to get traffic, and then they charge you more here. I learned this with my own brand, where I was paying for traffic on Google for, let's say it was about 50 cents a click to go to my product pages and brand page on Amazon, because Amazon was taking that. I hijacked Amazon ads is what I did on Google, and there's a few brands that'll help you do that. But when Amazon's bidding on a text ad on Google, they are sending you to a search page where they have a minimum CPC on Amazon that's higher than what they paid on Google. And they just know the math problem. They're not buying traffic if they're not making money. They're smart. They are still on Bing Shopping.
Still on Bing.
Still on Bing Shopping. They only get 15% of the conversion. They know product pages don't get a lot of clicks on them. So it's cheap traffic that converts really well. If Amazon's doing it, that's the only competitor I would probably say that has real enough data that they're not going to do a lot of stupid stuff. If they're on Bing Shopping, you can easily take that position. If you are the brand and Amazon's paying for your brand traffic to go from Bing to their website or their app, you should be controlling that customer and make sure they go to your website. So it's you, customer, and you're not just giving it to Amazon, because your lifetime value on Amazon is going to be lower than it would be on your own site.
Wow.
You converted him.
Yeah, you convert. I'm converted. I'm converted. I'm a Bing convert. Garrow, man, we appreciate you making the time and joining us, brother. I feel like we got to find ways to squeeze your brain more because and get more insight from the behemoth that you guys are operating out there, man. I'd love to find ways to do more things together. We appreciate you making the time.
I think we've already invited Colin to come to our event in August and live stream, be on a panel. Like Mason told me today that
I want to get. Can I get in his bag? I'm trying to get in your bag, brother.
Yeah, we can have Ecom Cowboy live stream from our event, August 20. All our clients. We just went through our invite list. Like, I mean, Nike, Harry's, Tilly's, Real. Like, it's
whoa, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, live and in living color. Man, that's going to be a stacked room. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. Wow. Well, I look forward to being there, and that'll be my first foray into the Pacific Northwest. That'll be
okay. Well, we'll have to come play pickleball at the farm.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
You'll teach me how to barbecue.
Absolutely.
I'll even give you control of the grill. Like, I have no problem doing that. I'll play pickleball and grab a beer, and you just tell me what to do.
That sounds great, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. We look forward to coming hanging out in the Pacific Northwest very soon, and we look forward to having you back, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, gents.